Last summer, I was dripping sweat in my living room, completely miserable. I bought a cheap window AC off a random recommendation, and it was a nightmare. It sounded like a jet engine, barely cooled the room, and skyrocketed my electric bill. The truth is, buying a window AC feels like a gamble with all the misleading specs, weird designs, and loud compressors out there. But you don't have to suffer like I did. I spent the last few months rigorously testing the top units on the market to find the absolute best options for any room and budget. Which one will finally let you sleep in peaceful, icy silence? Let's find out. 10. ZAFRO 12,000. When I first brought the ZAFRO unit into my testing space, I was excited by the promise of high cooling capacity at a reasonable price point. Unboxing it revealed a fairly standard, utilitarian design that doesn't exactly win any beauty contests. But I was willing to overlook aesthetics for raw power. I installed it in my main living area, hoping it would blast through the midday summer heat without breaking a sweat. However, once I actually turned it on, the reality of this unit became blatantly apparent. While it certainly pushes out a massive volume of cold air, the compressor kicks on with a violent shudder that actually rattled the window frame during my tests. The plastic housing feels incredibly cheap and flimsy, which contributes to a constant, annoying buzz that permeates the room whenever the unit is running. The electronic controls and the included remote are functional but extremely sluggish, often requiring multiple presses before the machine registers a command. I also noticed that the built-in thermostat is wildly inaccurate, frequently turning the compressor off while the room was still noticeably humid and warm, forcing me to constantly fiddle with the target temperature to maintain any level of comfort. Ultimately, while the ZAFRO 12,000 will technically cool down a large room, the overall user experience is heavily compromised by its poor build quality and deafening operational noise. It is perhaps suited for a loud workshop or an unfinished garage where noise and aesthetics do not matter, but I absolutely cannot recommend it for a living room or a bedroom. 9. GE Profile ClearView. Moving on to the GE Profile ClearView, I was incredibly intrigued by its unique saddle design that drops the compressor below the window sill. The marketing promises that you get to keep your window view and enjoy a quieter room, which sounded like a dream come true for my home office. Unboxing the unit, I was impressed by the sleek, modern aesthetic and the clear attention to visual detail that GE put into this model. But the moment I attempted the installation, my enthusiasm quickly evaporated. Because of its unconventional over-the-sill design, this unit is remarkably heavy and awkwardly balanced, making it nearly impossible to install safely without a second person helping you maneuver it. I spent the better part of an afternoon wrestling with the complex support brackets, and even once it was locked in, the thick middle section completely obstructed the lower half of my window, defeating the whole purpose of the ClearView name. Performance-wise, it does cool the room effectively, but it introduces a host of frustrating quirks. During particularly humid days of testing, I noticed significant condensation pooling around the interior sill because the drainage design simply doesn't route water away efficiently. Additionally, the smart features, while robust on paper, are hindered by a companion app that repeatedly disconnected from my Wi-Fi network, leaving me unable to adjust the temperature from my phone when I was away from home. While the GE Profile ClearView is undeniably an innovative leap in air conditioning design, its high price tag is impossible to justify given the deeply frustrating installation and the glaring design oversights. It might work for a very specific type of window setup, but for the average user, the hassle heavily outweighs the benefits of its unique shape. 8. Frigidaire Gallery. Next up is the Frigidaire Gallery series, and this is where my testing experience started to take a remarkably positive turn. Unlike the clunky boxes I had wrestled with previously, the Gallery series features a beautifully refined, modern exterior that seamlessly blended into my guest bedroom's decor. Taking it out of the box, I immediately noticed the superior build quality with high-grade plastics and a tightly assembled chassis that felt premium to the touch. When I installed it and powered it up, the cooling efficiency was instantly noticeable. Frigidaire has engineered an incredibly effective louver system that actively sweeps the chilled air across the room, eliminating those annoying hot spots that typically plague corners. Within just 15 minutes of running the unit on a scorching afternoon, my previously sweltering guest room was transformed into a perfectly chilled oasis with a crisp, refreshing atmosphere that felt natural rather than harsh. One of the most impressive aspects of this unit during my testing was its exceptionally managed acoustic profile. The compressor engages smoothly without any of the violent shaking I experienced with lower-tier models, settling into a gentle, consistent hum that easily fades into the background. I was able to comfortably take phone calls and watch television at normal volumes without ever feeling like I was competing with the appliance for acoustic space. The included remote control is intuitive and features a built-in temperature sensor, allowing the unit to cool the room based on where you are sitting rather than just the air right next to the window. While it represents a slight bump in price compared to entry-level models, the Frigidaire Gallery completely justifies its cost with its elegant design, rapid cooling capabilities, and whisper-quiet operation. Seven, LG 10,000 BTU. Coming in at number 7 is the LG 10,000 BTU Smart Air Conditioner, a unit that truly showcases why LG remains a dominant force in home appliances. I chose to test this robust model in my open concept kitchen and dining area, a space that notoriously traps heat from cooking and large appliances. From the moment I slid it into the window frame, the installation process was refreshingly straightforward, thanks to a well-designed installation kit that provided a secure, weather-tight seal on the first try. The sheer cooling velocity of this 10,000 BTU unit is nothing short of phenomenal. LG has equipped this model with multiple fan speeds and a powerful compressor that confidently cut through the heavy, humid air created by a hot oven during my testing. The directional airflow controls allowed me to easily push the freezing air exactly where I needed it most, keeping the entire cooking space incredibly comfortable even in the dead of summer. What truly elevates this unit, however, is its seamless integration into the smart home ecosystem through LG's ThinQ app. I was able to connect the air conditioner to my Wi-Fi network in a matter of seconds, allowing me to start cooling the kitchen using voice commands to my smart speaker before I even walked into the room. The app also provided insightful energy usage reports, which gave me great peace of mind regarding my monthly utility bills. Between its heavy-duty cooling power, rock-solid build quality, and genuinely useful smart features, this LG model proved to be an absolute workhorse. It easily handles large, demanding spaces with quiet confidence, making it a fantastic investment for anyone who needs to quickly and intelligently cool a significant portion of their home. 6. GE Window Air AWCS12WWA. At number 6, we have the GE Window Air AWCS12WWA, a massive 12,000 BTU powerhouse designed to conquer large spaces. I installed this beast in my main living room, an area featuring high ceilings and large sun-facing windows that essentially turns into a greenhouse by mid-July. Despite its substantial size and weight, the provided EZ mount kit made the installation process highly intuitive, securely locking the heavy unit into place without requiring professional assistance. Once activated, the cooling performance was absolutely staggering. This unit doesn't just cool a room, it rapidly alters the entire climate of the space. During an intense heat wave, the GE Window Air effortlessly maintained a crisp 68 degrees, pushing vast volumes of chilled air out to the absolute furthest corners of my living room. The cooling is dense and immediate, providing profound relief the moment you walk through the front door. Beyond raw power, I was highly impressed by the unit's eco mode during my extended testing period. Unlike other machines that rapidly cycle on and off, creating a disruptive environment, this GE model intelligently manages the fan and compressor to maintain the temperature while significantly cutting down on power draw. I monitored my energy consumption closely and was thrilled to see that this massive unit was far more efficient than I had originally anticipated. The digital controls are bright, responsive, and incredibly easy to read from across the room, and the remote gives you comprehensive control over every single feature. If you have a large, stubborn space that refuses to cool down with standard air conditioners, this heavy-duty GE unit will completely solve your temperature problems with remarkable efficiency and enduring reliability. 5. Windmill Window Air. Breaking into the top 5 is the Windmill Window Air Conditioner, arguably the most beautiful and thoughtfully designed unit on the market today. I tested this model in my master bedroom, and its aesthetic appeal cannot be overstated. With its smooth, curved edges, matte white finish, and hidden display that fades away when not in use, it completely abandons the ugly, industrial look of traditional ACs and actually enhances the interior design of the room. But the Windmill isn't just about good looks. Its unique upward airflow design completely changed my sleeping experience. Instead of blasting freezing air directly into my face or across the bed, the unit directs the chilled air up toward the ceiling, where it gently cascades down to cool the room evenly. This created a perfectly balanced, draft-free environment that kept me incredibly comfortable throughout the entire night without ever waking up freezing. The installation process was an absolute dream, largely because Windmill pre-assembles the insulation panels and provides a foolproof, beautifully packaged installation kit. Furthermore, the smart functionality is flawless. The companion app is gorgeously designed and highly responsive, allowing me to set detailed cooling schedules, so my bedroom was always the perfect temperature right before I went to sleep. Acoustically, the Windmill is a revelation, operating with a smooth, soft hum that acts as the perfect white noise machine rather than a mechanical disruption. It combines breathtaking modern design, intelligent airflow dynamics, and whisper quiet operation into a spectacular package, making it the absolute premier choice for anyone who values both aesthetics and supreme comfort in their living spaces. Four, Midea 5000 EasyCool. Securing the number 4 spot is the Midea 5000 BTU EasyCool, a small but mighty champion that proves you don't need to spend a fortune to get outstanding relief from the heat. I decided to test this compact unit in a small, stuffy home office that typically turns into a sauna when my computers are running. Unboxing it was a delight. It is incredibly lightweight, allowing me to pop it into the window and secure it with zero strain or frustration in under 10 minutes. The beauty of this Midea unit lies in its pure, unapologetic simplicity. It features traditional, tactile mechanical knobs that are immensely satisfying to use and virtually impossible to break. When I cranked the dial to maximum cooling, I was genuinely shocked by the immediate blast of icy air that quickly neutralized the heat generated by my office equipment, turning an unworkable space into a wonderfully cool sanctuary. During my weeks of testing, I appreciated the consistent, reliable performance of this little machine. It doesn't have Wi-Fi, voice control, or fancy digital displays, but it excels at its core job of dropping the temperature of a small room rapidly and efficiently. The noise level is surprisingly well managed for a budget unit, producing a steady, unobtrusive whir that easily faded out of my awareness while I concentrated on my work. At its highly accessible price point, the value proposition of the Midea 5000 is simply unbeatable. It is the ultimate plug-and-play solution for bedrooms, small offices, or dorm rooms, offering robust, fail-safe mechanical cooling that you can depend on day in and day out without completely emptying your wallet. 3. GE 5000. At number 3, we have another compact titan, the GE Window Air conditioner, which edges out the competition with its refined engineering and exceptional cooling consistency. I set this unit up in a small guest room to see how it compared to the Midea, and I was immediately struck by the high quality of the materials and the secure, rattle-free fit of the installation kit. It felt like a premium product despite its small footprint and affordable category. When put to the test during a particularly muggy week, the GE 5000 proved to be a masterful climate controller. It utilizes highly efficient air distribution louvers that quickly circulate chilled air throughout the entire space, completely erasing the humidity and leaving the room feeling crisp and dry. I was particularly impressed by how quickly the compressor managed to pull the heat out of the room upon initial startup, providing near instantaneous relief. The acoustic performance of this unit is precisely why it scores so high on my list. GE has somehow managed to isolate the compressor vibrations entirely, resulting in an incredibly smooth, rhythmic airflow sound that is perfectly suited for sleeping environments. Guests who stayed in the room during my testing period specifically complimented the soothing white noise profile and how well they slept through the night. With a highly intuitive interface, incredibly reliable day-to-day operation, and outstanding energy efficiency, this GE unit represents the gold standard for small-capacity air conditioners. It delivers a refined, high-end cooling experience in a tiny, affordable package, making it an absolute must-buy for anyone looking to perfectly chill a small space. 2. LG 6000 BTU. Taking the run-up position at number 2 is the legendary LG 6000 BTU AWCS12WWA, a unit that has rightfully earned its reputation as the ultimate traditional window air conditioner. I placed this unit in my moderately sized master bedroom, looking for the perfect balance between raw cooling power and energy efficiency. From the durable housing to the excellent side accordion panels, the physical construction of this unit screams longevity and premium craftsmanship. The cooling capability of this 6000 BTU model is exceptionally potent. During my rigorous testing, it routinely cooled the bedroom down significantly faster than competing models in the same class, lasting a thick column of freezing air that quickly permeated the entire room. Furthermore, the built-in dehumidification mode was a total game changer, stripping gallons of moisture out of the air on rainy, humid days without over-chilling the room. I fell in love with the sheer usability of this LG machine. The electronic touch controls are highly responsive, and the included remote allowed me to adjust the 3 different cooling and fan speeds from the comfort of my bed. The auto restart feature also proved invaluable. When a brief summer storm knocked out the power to my home, the AC turned itself back onto my exact previous settings the second the electricity returned, operating with a deep, steady hum that blocks out exterior street noise flawlessly. The LG 6000 BTU is a masterpiece of dependable engineering. It strikes the absolute perfect harmony of power, convenience, and quiet operation, making it the finest traditional box-style air conditioner you can possibly purchase today. 1. Midea 10,000 U-shaped inverter. Finally, taking the absolute crown at number 1 is the revolutionary Midea U-shaped inverter window air conditioner. When I brought this unit in for testing, I had high expectations based on the hype, but nothing prepared me for how entirely it would change my perception of what a window AC can be. The ingenious U-shaped design allows your actual window sash to slide down right through the middle of the unit, completely isolating the noisy compressor outside your home. The result of this design is a level of silence that is genuinely hard to believe until you experience it firsthand. Standing right next to the Midea while the compressor was running at full speed, I could barely hear anything more than a gentle breeze. I was able to watch movies, listen to quiet music, and hold whispered conversations right next to the window, a feat that is simply impossible with any other air conditioner on the market. Beyond the revolutionary silence, the advanced inverter technology inside this machine makes it a thermodynamic marvel. Instead of violently turning on and off like standard units, the inverter continuously adjusts the cooling output, maintaining an exact, perfect temperature while using up to 35% less energy than traditional models. The air output is staggeringly cold, projecting a massive, sweeping breeze that effortlessly chilled my entire open-concept living and dining space during the hottest days of the year. Complete with an incredibly robust smart app, flawless voice assistant integration, and an ultra-secure bracket installation system that ensures the unit will never fall, the Midea U-shaped AC is flawless. It is whisper quiet, brutally powerful, incredibly energy efficient, and stands unchallenged as the absolute best window air conditioner you can buy.